Hello students, in previous lecture of abstract algebra, we had discussed the definition of group, abelian and non-abelian groups, order of a group, finite and infinite groups, etc. Now we shall proceed with some examples of groups. Let's discuss. First example is the set Z of integers forms an infinite abelian group with respect to usual addition of integers. We have to prove this. Firstly, we have to identify what is the non-empty set G here and what is the operation here. Clearly, the set is the set Z of integers. Now, this is a non-empty set G here. We have to prove it is an infinite abelian group. What is the operation? Addition of integers, usual addition of integers. So, operation is addition. We have to prove this is an infinite abelian group. Firstly, we shall simply prove that this forms a group. First property is closure property. Now, clearly we can see that for any two integers, addition of two integers is integer. For all a, b belongs to z. If we add any two integers, the answer will be integer. So closure property will be satisfied. Second one is associative property. Second is associative property. Now we know that if we add firstly two integers a and b and then add c to it, or we add b and c, add a to b plus c, answer will be same for all a, b, c belongs to z. Why? Because addition of integers is always associative. Now, third one is existence of identity. Existence of identity. We have to find the identity for this group. Now, what is the identity? Identity is that element that does not change the identity of the element of the group. Let's take A belongs to Z. A is any element of Z. Now we have to find the identity. What we should add here so that answer is again A. What we should add here is we should add 0 here. Why? Because only 0 is the element we can add here to get the answer A again. So what is 0? 0 is identity. That means identity exists here. And one should be kept in mind that this element, this identity should be the member of this non-empty set. And what is this non-empty set here? Z. And this 0 belongs to Z. 0 is an integer. So we have found the identity. Identity exists here. Now, fourth one is existence of inverse. Now what is the inverse? Inverse is that element that should be operated here to get the identity as answer. Now what we can add here? We can add negative of a here to get the answer 0. Suppose we have 2 here. So what we should add to get 0? We have to add minus 2. Similarly, if here is minus 2, then what we have to add is 2. That means we have to add the negative of this number to get 0. And we know all these are integers. That means for every element in Z, we have found the inverse of that element. So existence of inverse is also satisfied for every element in Z. So all the 4 properties are satisfied. That means this forms a group. Now we shall check whether this group is abelian or not. Group will be abelian if it satisfies the commutative property. And we know that if we add two integers like a plus b, or we can add b plus a, answer will be same. For all a, b belongs to z. Why? Because addition of integers is commutative. So that means the group is abelian. Now next is infinite. As we have studied already, that group is finite if this set is finite, group is infinite if this set is infinite. And we all know that the group of this set of integers is infinite set. Z is infinite set. That means this group is infinite. So we have proved that Z under addition forms infinite abelian group. Let's discuss some another example. This set G is equal to 1 omega omega square of cube roots of unity. What are these 1 omega omega square? These are all cube roots of unity. We have to prove that this G forms a finite abelian group of order 3. This forms finite abelian group of order 3. And what is the operation? Operation is multiplication of complex numbers. Right? Now, to simplify this example, firstly we have to construct composition table. Now, how to construct composition table? Simply write the elements of G here and here. Now, operate these elements. What is the operation here? Multiplication of complex numbers. We have to simply operate 1 into 1, that is 1. 1 into omega is omega. 1 into omega square is omega square. Omega into 1 is omega. Omega into omega is omega square. Omega into omega square, that is omega into omega square is omega cube, and that is equal to 1. Why? Because these are cube roots of unity. Similarly here, omega square into 1 is omega square. Omega square into omega is again omega cube. So answer will be 1. Omega square into omega square will be omega cube into omega. So it can be written as 1 into omega, that is omega. So we have constructed the composition table. Now let's start checking all the properties, whether these properties are satisfied or not. First one is closure property. Clearly you can see all the entries of the table 1 omega omega square 1, all these entries are from G. That means under this operation of multiplication we have obtained the closure property. Next one is associative property. We know all, what are all these? These all are 1 omega omega square. All these are complex numbers, and multiplication of complex numbers is associative. So that's why associative property will also hold. Third one is existence of identity. Now, what is identity? Identity is that element with which we can multiply so that answer will be the same element. Now simply you can say, if you multiply with 1, this first column, second column is same, first row and second row is same. That means when multiplying with 1, answers will remain same. That means 1 is playing the role of identity here. That means existence of identity also hold. Now the fourth property is left, existence of inverse. We have to check whether all these elements are invertible or not, whether existence of 1's inverse, existence of omega's inverse, existence of omega square's inverse is there or not. Now simply, what should be multiplied with 1 to get 1? We should multiply 1 with 1 to get 1. Now what should be multiplied with omega to get 1? It should be multiplied with omega square. What should be multiplied with omega square to get 1? We should multiply it with omega, right? So that means we get the inverse of 1 is 1, inverse of omega is omega square, inverse of omega square is omega. So that means all the elements are invertible, so there is existence of inverse also. So all the four properties are satisfied. That means this algebraic structure forms a group, and clearly multiplication of complex numbers is commutative. That's why this group will be commutative, or you can say it is abelian group. Next is finite. You can easily see that G contains only 3 distinct elements. So number of elements in G are finite. That means this group is finite. Now order of group is 3 because number of elements G is 3. Example, the set of all positive rational numbers under the composition defined by A star B is equal to AB by 3 forms an infinite abelian group. Here what is the set G here? It is a set of all positive rational numbers. So let denote it by Q plus and operation is star which is defined here. Firstly, we shall check closure property. Now, what is the closure property? Let's take any two positive rational numbers and clearly if we multiply two positive rational numbers and divide it by 3, it will belong to Q plus. It will be a positive rational number, so closure property is satisfied. Now second is associative property. Now to check associative property, we have to calculate A star B star C and A star B star C. Now what is A star B star C? What is A star B? According to this definition, it is AB by 3 star C. Now again operate star. Multiply these two elements and divide it by 3. According to the definition, multiply these two elements and divide it by 3. It will become ABC by 9. Now calculate this one. What is B star C? According to the definition, it is BC by 3. Now again operate star. It will be A into BC by 3 upon 3. So it will become ABC by 9. And you can say answer is same. That means A star B star C is equal to A star B star C. For all A, B, C belongs to Q plus. That means associative property holds here. Now let's check third property. Existence of identity. Now we have to find an element E such that A star E is equal to A is equal to E star E. We have to find such type of E and it should belongs to Q plus. Here this A belongs to Q plus. Now let's operate. What is A star E? According to definition, A star is A E by 3 is equal to A is equal to E by 3. You can solve this way, you can solve this way. A E by 3 minus A is equal to 0. That is A E minus 3 by 3 is equal to 0. But this is not 0. This is the element of Q plus. That means E minus 3 is equal to 0. This implies E is equal to 3. So you get the identity element 3 and clearly this belongs to the set of positive rational numbers. So existence of identity is there. Now let's check existence of inverse. Existence of inverse. Now for finding inverse, we have to find an element B such that answer is identity. We have to find an element B such that answer is identity. Now what is identity here? Identity is 3. Now what is A star B? You can solve anyway. A star B is A B by 3. So clearly B is equal to 9 upon A and A is positive rational number. If you divide 9 by a positive rational number, answer will be a positive rational number. So you have got the inverse of A, and in this way we can find inverse of every element A belongs to Q plus. That means all the 4 properties are satisfied. It forms a group. For abelian, let's check commutative property. We will check commutativity. Now what is A star B? A star B is AB by 3 and clearly it is equal to B star A, which is BA by 3. These two are equal because multiplication is commutative. So it is abelian group and infinite. Why? Because number of positive rational numbers, that is a positive set of positive rational numbers, it cannot be counted. It is an infinite set. That's why this group is also infinite. Thank you.